Yeah, it's just like, let's go on to this Dolph Ziggler topic for a second. So, I've been observing for a while on YouTube when it comes to wrestling stuff, and I'm always finding videos on Dolph Ziggler, and I know there was a lot of them at the beginning of the year, end of last year, talking about the man's status and his position within the company, how he could be more than what he is, how he's so talented, he's so amazing, he's a great athlete, he should be more, he should mean more than what he is. And why is it now he's at this point that when he's put in a main event picture, title program, whatever you want to call it, why is it's seen as a step down for the other person? And why is it kind of treated with indifference? I remember this when Dean Ambrose and Dolph had that SummerSlam match. It was kind of seen that way, like, oh, Dolph Ziggler, really? And you wonder where, how we got to this point with him. And he came out of the Royal Rumble, and before that, actually, he'd done this angle where he had won the US belt, put it down, left, and then he came back out in the Royal Rumble at number 30, and people were very indifferent towards him. And people were kind of shocked and surprised and questioning why he, how did we get there? And I'm not surprised by this. Now, this is not me saying, and I want to make this very clear, people, that I am not discrediting the man as a talent. I am a huge fan of his. I think he's very talented. I think he's an amazing athlete in many ways, and I agree with a lot of people. He's a lot like Kurt Hennig. I see that comparison, people. Like, I see it. But I said this years and years ago, and in fact, I'm going to put the video somewhere around here or there if I know how to do this annotation thing. But I said it years ago in 2012, and I remember it very, very well. And if you watch that video and then come back and watch this one, you can see what I was saying had some merit to it here. So, pat myself on the back there. The trajectory of Dolph Ziggler's run from 2011 all the way to present day, let's be very honest about this. Has he been pushed and presented as someone that they feel is going to be one of their top guys? No. When he won the Money in the Bank contract, I compared that to Okada of New Japan winning the G1 tournament. Both are gimmicks or stipulations where the winner who wins it goes on to challenge for the world title, kind of at their own choosing. With the G1 though, it's the January the 4th show. But the whole point is the Money in the Bank contract winner and the G1 tournament winner are the number one contenders within their respective promotions. And I pointed out the difference between the way Dolph was used versus the way Okada was used. Yes, Dolph was in a top program that year with Jericho. He moved on to a top program with Cena that year. Okada was in top programs and built and booked very differently though. The difference is that when Okada was put in this program, he was booked strong. His finishing moves were allowed to get over. He was presented as an equal to Tanahashi. He was presented as an equal to now WWE Royal Rumble winner Shinsuke Nakamura. He was presented as an equal, if not better than these guys. Dolph was not. His matches were not there with these top guys to showcase him. They were there to showcase the other guy. They were there for the other guy to look really good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to build up Dolph, the match needs to be slightly different. Those matches were there to help Cena look good, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's one of your top stars. You want your top stars to look good, but at the same time, let's be real. If you go into his matches, especially with the top end of talent, you'll notice a theme there. Was he given a strong, convincing win over John Cena at any point? No. Was Okada given a strong win over Tanahashi at some point? Yes. Was he given a strong, convincing win over Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler? No. Was he given a strong, convincing win over any of the other top talent? Sheamus? No. None of them. He works hard, he bumps hard, he looks great, he looks athletic, but the program was not there to elevate him. He was put in the CM Punk program because it'd be a good match for CM Punk. He was put in the Edge program the year before that because it's a good match for Edge. These matches were not there to elevate him. And this has been the recurring theme, and then you get to the point where it's stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, reheat, reboot, 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 reboot. The man has had more restarts and reboots than the Spider-Man franchise with Sony at this point. Let's just face it. So when you don't have a long-term commitment to a guy to make them a top-end star, when there's been a theme of treatment where you bring him down, you bring him down, you bring him down, you bring him up, you bring him down, you bring him down, you bring him down, you bring him down, you bring him up, you give him a little something here, but it's never when he goes up is he treated to be one of the top guys. The message that we get if we're buying into this is that Dolph, while he's really good, is just a run below all these guys. So why is everyone surprised when he comes out and there's indifference now? It's because of that. You look at the way that he was presented, you look at the way he was treated, you look at the way that other people have been presented and treated, and there's a huge difference there in other promotions and in the same promotions. Obviously, Roman Reigns would be an example of this, Braun Strowman would be an example of this. Braun Strowman means more than Dolph Ziggler has, whether you like it or not, and I like Strowman a lot, by the way. Roman Reigns means more because look at what they've let him do. He beat Cena 1, 2, 3. Imagine if Dolph beat Cena 1, 2, 3, what that would have done for him. So you get to this point where I feel like fans have become conditioned when it comes to Dolph that we know he's good, but do we really care anymore? Does it mean anything when Dolph fights for the title anymore? It doesn't. Unfortunately, he's just there, and I think what a lot of people have said is kind of fair. Maybe the best option for him would have been to just, I hate to say it, maybe be injured, just be off TV for a really long time and then kind of get a refresh. But the thing is though, he's had so many restarts when he's active, you've just conditioned us to view him in a certain way. And it's a shame because you go back to the night that he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, the crowd reaction he got was incredible. What a reaction he got that night. And it's like, how did we get from that to apathy and frustration and indifference when he comes out in the Royal Rumble? I think we all know why. Guys, that's me done for now. Just needed to do that. I feel like I'm getting the energies back and my powers back. And let me know what you think of that. Comment down below. Like, subscribe, share. I will be doing another video. I'm going to be talking about Brian Ortega of the UFC. And yes, I am out of here. Take care, and as always, keep it green.